What would you do in this situation? So this guy gets together with this woman who has a child, and the child is 9 years old and has a behavioral problem that has been ongoing. And at first, the guy was understanding, thinking that, the kid didn't grow up with his father, so he was sympathetic to that. But he realized the more he sat back and said nothing, the worse the child got. So after about a year, the kid is now 10. He does something which causes the man to discipline him. The kid straight up told him, "You're not my father, I don't have to listen to you." When the mother found out, she reprimanded the boyfriend, so much so in front of the child, literally saying the same thing to him. "Don't put your hands on my son. He's not your child. You're not his father." Even in that situation, the guy told her, if you don't correct this behavior, it's eventually going to get worse. But she was one of those mothers who didn't care. At all costs, she didn't want anyone disciplining or touching her son, period. So about 2 years passed at this point. Now the kid's 12, and him and his mother are going back and forth in an argument. He literally calls her a bitch, and it escalates from there to the point where he's literally punching her in her face to the point where he knocks her down. She gets up angrily and goes at the boyfriend who's sitting on the couch playing his PlayStation, and she's mad at him like, "Why aren't you going to do anything? You're not going to protect me?" And he simply says, "I'm not his father. I have nothing to do with this." She gets pissed off and decides, "I'm done. This relationship is over." So the guy's like, "Great, get the hell out of my house." Not wanting to leave, she calls the police and tells them that her boyfriend was beating her up and he's blacked her eye and bust her lip. So police in domestic violence situations, they come guns blazing, not willing to ask any questions. So the police get there and automatically charges at the man, ready to take him down. But then the son passes by and goes, "He didn't do that shit. I did. And I knocked that bitch out again." And then showed the police his knuckles where he had the bruises from punching her. So then the police turn to the man and simply ask, "Do you want to press charges on her for the false accusations?" He says, "Absolutely." She begs and pleads with the police to let her go. They don't listen. He had already confirmed he wanted to press charges. She turns to the then, ex-boyfriend and is begging and pleading with him to drop the charges. He's like, "Absolutely not." So when that doesn't work, she turns to the ex-boyfriend once again and pleads with him to watch her son, saying that if you don't take him, he doesn't have anywhere to go. He doesn't have any family. They'll put him in the system. Please, can he stay with you? The man responds and says, "I'm not the boy's father." So they take the kid too.